Hello and welcome, I am the BigB82 and this is part 2 of my tutorial stream on how to play slash survive on Star Trek Online. And on the consoles, today we are going to cover character kits, gear and general equipment on your ground character. I might dib into ship stuff, but basically what I'm going to cover here is what to do with your ground equipment and where you can find it, and also how to make it. So when you initially start the game and you finish the tutorial, this is where you'll end up. This is ESD. If you're a Klingon, it will take you to QO'NOS, the first city. If you're a Romulan, it will take you to the FLOTILLA, but each one is basically the same, except for ESD is a lot more condensed than the other two starting character places. So when you start up, hello cuttlefish. So when you arrive on the thing, you'll beam into the system, you'll beam out, or you'll beam in here in the transporter room, and you walk down and you'll go and speak with the Admiral over there. I've covered that in lots of starts, particularly on this character. But then the game kind of says, that's it, welcome, and ta-ta. So this is your character screen. This is where you first you'll look in here and go, where the hell do I find weapons? Where the hell do I find a kit? What the hell's a kit? What the hell's a kit frame? What the fuck's a shield? What the hell's armor? Excuse my swearing. So the game will initially give you two pieces of weaponry, which I believe is a pistol and a rifle at the start of the game. Now, general rule of thumb and a definite do and definitely a do not. When you start up, you'll be given the initial weapons. You'll probably want to get rid of them, but you must and I will stress this, under all circumstances, make sure that you have a weapon that exposes, or it says expose, and a weapon that exploits. Now the reason for these two, if you watch most of my playthroughs, you'll see it's like when you shoot a character, or when you eventually you'll see a little like a squirty icon around them. That means that their armor has been exposed, and as soon as you fire an exploiting weapon, you disintegrate them, you do extra damage to them, and you potentially kill them and take them off the screen. So always have one initial weapon that will expose an attack on its sweeping attack on this. That's the R2 attack, R1 attack, and make sure you have a weapon on the other side that exploits that attack. So when you get them onto the thing, you then wipe them with R1 on this. It's a sniper shot, and it will disintegrate them. There are better weapons for it. Sniper shot is only one person, and whereas something like a split beam rifle is much more efficient, but does less damage. But I'll cover the weapons initially soon. So when you arrive, you'll come down, you've spoken to the Admiral, and he says go off on your adventures, and you might just go and say sod it, beam up to your ship and go off on your adventures. You could do that, and probably you will do that despite what I say, but then you come in here and you've got these 5 slots which are your kits. Now, in the old days of the game, and this is true in the early days of the game, You used to have a kit frame, and then a kit frame had a certain amount of levels. Used to have additional slots on it for doing an additional kit. It used to be called kit frame, kit frame, and kit frame modules. Over the years, they've kind of simplified the system and made it more easier. You didn't have to have a kit. You can still use kit frames, but you didn't have to necessarily use for using your kit items. Now, kit. Then these are you will always have 5 slots. Some of these you won't be able to get, like the universal. Ignore the universal slots. But as an engineering character, this is my engineering character, I can only slot in engineering kits. The universal ones can go in on any character, that's regardless, but you will not be able to fit a tactical grenade on an engineering character. The game won't let you. It'll be red, and it will just say nope, can't do that. Now, if I remember correctly, it has been a while since I've done this. Yeah. So over here in the lesser known area of ESD, past us is the personal equipment section. Someone already here. Now this person here has the ability to give you every weapon, every team equipment, which is your away team equipment, your requisition, your kits, consumables, and I didn't know you could actually purchase tech upgrades, but apparently you can. So if you want your tech upgrades, you can come and speak with Vincent Lesser. I didn't know she did tech upgrades. Yeah, learning something new every day. Tech upgrades, they can upgrade your equipment, but they cost dilithium. I should say that on them actually. Special upgrade weekends. Yeah. So beam weapons, weapon technology, engineering tech, ground tech, projectile weapons, science kits, and basic tech upgrades. Honestly, did not know that she had those. That's a tutorial, not even I'm learning things. Anyway, so weapons. These are your weapons. As you'll come into the game, you will probably have a Mark II weapon, but the to purchasing the weapons, they're always 1 mark below your maximum level of what you can actually use. So if you're an ensign, when you're a lieutenant, when you arrive on ESD, you can purchase these Mark 1 weapons, but you can then upgrade them to Mark 2, which is the maximum level. Next up is the Mark 3s, 5s, 6, 9, and yeah, you can't go any higher than 9. But again, this is where you can get all your weapons. Being a Federation space station, ESD only has phaser weapons. I'll cover the different flavours of weaponry when I do the ships. But you get miniguns and your 4 auto rifles, which they do exposed attacks. Pistols, stun pistol, wide beam pistol. They expose, and then you've got your rifles. It's not a split beam rifle, which I recommend having. It's a good look. It's much better than the phaser than sniper rifle. But these are your exploits. So these are your exposes. They expose, and the rifles will exploit. So make sure you have those. Again, every time that's a bit of annoying, but this is your away team. Now armour is not so much of an issue when you're playing the game up until you get to the end game. Don't worry about too much about having to have the best armour. Do upgrade it all the time though. Do build it up until about 12. Mark 12 really you need to just get through stuff. Then you need to start worrying about getting end gear equipment when you get to level 65, and pretty much the energy armor, physical armor, and utility armor are not going to be doing much for you at that point. So I wouldn't go off on your way to try and get out. Go off and get on them. If it was my personal choice, the ones that I would personally use would be the utility armor, because of all its resistances. So that's only kinetic and energy, but utility also gives you benefits to critical chance and critical severity. So, and that's more of a deeper mechanic. I really don't want to go into what critical chance and critical severity is, and is all your shields as well. Okay, so that's what you should. But what we're really here about is the acquisition of kits. Now, this is where you will be able to purchase your engineering kits, your engineering modules, your science frames, your science modules, your tactical frames, and your tactical modules. This is one way of getting them, but this one will cost you energy credits, and energy credits are picked up on missions. Quite easy to get hold of, not really much of an issue. Now, as I said, I am a engineering officer, and as you can see, it's there, it's red. It says I will not be able to use this. It says you cannot equip more than one of these, which is true. So, but I will not, even if I buy this item, I will not be able to use this item because I am not a science officer, so it's worthless to me. There are, I think there's only 4 here, isn't it? It's 4. So you will not be able to use these. So like you say, oh look, God, what is this? It's a shield recharge. I'm going to use that. I'm a tactical officer, can't use it. The game will give you one kit module, I think, and then you can come here and get the rest of them. There's only a very small select amount in here. Well, yeah, it's because the game doesn't tell you where you can get the rest of them. But these are your initial ones. You can get them. And some of them are pretty helpful, like the beam turret and fusion armor and the shield. But there's stuff here that's really beneficial that's not here. But you can purchase them for 500 energy credits and get 4 slots already done. So that's where you get your, and that will get where you get your kits and your frames and your weapons and your energy and your shields. You can also purchase consumables, which are helpful. I recommend grabbing a couple of these, but these drop most of the time on missions, and they're quite easy to get hold of. You by the time you find you have loads of these. So that's where you get initially where you'll get them. So that's your kits and gear. Now the other place you will be able to get them, but you will not be able to get them until, I'll have to check this. I'm just looking on Star Trek Online, see where what the ranks are. Tells you where you unlock stuff. Just wonder when you unlock R&D. Sorry about this. It's a live streaming on. It's like, what day was he talking about R&D? Okay, rank 15. So rank 15, you will unlock research and development. The game will give you initially a couple of duty officers. I'll cover the duty officer system and the R&D system at another time because it needs to be more in depth than I'm about to cover it. But briefly, I'll cover it. So when you initially start the game, you won't have access to the R&D system. So your best bet's to come to the equipment, personal equipment, buy your equipment, upgrade it as much as you can. But then as soon as you get into Mark 15, you'll get a message. You'll get a communication from your faction's head of head of the duty officer system, and tell you, say, hello, I'm blah blah blah, here's your initial stuff, congratulations, blah 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 blah. When you do that, you'll come down here and you'll have the thing that says projects. You'll have duty officers. I've now unlocked at rank 10, the duty officer system. That's an introduction to that. Sorry, rank 10 they give you duty, rank 10 and 11 they give you, rank 11 they give you the duty officer system. Again, I'll cover that. It must be, you have to do that complete. It's a more detailed thing. And reputation and admiralty are again, and they're separate. You come to your crafting. Now when you start out, you only have, I think it's 2 slots. There's 2 slots, and then you have to get one to rank 5. And then another one to I think it's 2 to rank 5, and then another initially up to, and then you need to get one to rank 10, and then unlock the last one. But when you come in here, you'll have all these different selections. Again, I'll cover these separately, but the one that you want will be kits and modules, and then you have all these different options in here. Of course, I'm up to rank 15, so I've got these additional ones here. Don't worry about these. But when you come in here, you'll all these ones at the top won't be here, but you'll have kit modules. You have kit frames, your engineering modules, the science modules, and your tactical modules, and all the consumables will also be there as well. Won't have the ultimate upgrade, but again, I will cover this when more in depth. But what you want to do is come in here, and then you'll be able to do much more. So you had the initial 5 there, and you have far more options here. Engineering character, I recommend you get a medical generator. That's helpful for you. You'll be able to heal. A secret train is pretty good. But you've got all these different options, and the game, it will tell you what they do. It's not like it's going to just tell you, oh, you do this, 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 and this. So it will tell you this. So that will make a burst turret fabrication 4. You'll create an energy turret. Creates a level 10 burst turret for 180 seconds, and will have a long range attack, and it does a certain amount of damage. You'll also be able to do different marks. Mark 12, it'll tell you it's a level 60. You need more addition, but you will need more resources to be able to do it. And again, I'll cover the R&D system when I do it in more detail. But this is where you'll be able to get additional kits, additional kit modules. You have a whole host of options here. Your combat supply and equipment diagnostics. I will link again in the description a link to the Star Trek Online wiki, which will tell you what each one of these individually will do. Each one, and you can go and read all about what they do. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you how to build your character. It'll be your personal choice. Personally, it doesn't matter what you do at the lower levels. Again, end game is where you really have to worry about your character builds. When you're just going playing through the game, ranking up, you really don't care. So there's your science, all your science ones, and there's also all your tactical ones. Now, with regards to the kit modules, now I said that you might not be able to. I'm an engineering character. I cannot use them, but it does not mean that you can't make them. Now, you can make them, and then you say you make another character. You can then share it. You can make them for another character, give them to another character, so you don't have to buy them, or make them with that character. So it's real helpful to have your initial character be good at be the jack of all trades, and then you can do specific different variants. You have your crafter, you have your dilithium mule and stuff like that, but that's more detailed stuff. But when you start out, I recommend you do I always do the beams, because I've got loads of characters now, quite a few. But you will start out. I recommend you do the kit frames because they're more helpful, and you can get these more. Now these ones, they're a bit more complicated, but I'll cover the R&D system. So that is kit modules. That's your kit modules, and that's also as we get your kit modules. That's how you make your kit modules. You won't be able to make kit modules until Domain 15. And that's also where your weapons. Weapons are, again, that's in your R&D system. I'll cover the R&D system in more detail in another stream. So that is where you'll be able to purchase your, if you're as well, most people will be Starfleet characters, but Klingons, you'll be able to go to QO'NOS, and there'll be an area where you'll be able to purchase your equipment. I'm pretty sure it's not as clear as here. I could go and show you on a Klingon character. Actually, I think I shall. So this is the Federation character. So what we'll do is we'll switch over to a Klingon character, and I'll show you where on QO'NOS you can purchase your gear. Now Romulans, it will depend on which faction you choose, but you'll be able to purchase. So let's get to a Klingon character. Oh, I need to take Kravok back to QO'NOS anyway. I need to pick up my shuttle, so let's go with Kravok, who's my other character I'm currently doing. Sorry about all these. I have to go through all these loading screens. There's so many loading screens on this game. I think it's like the game of loading screens. Not quite as bad as most games, but it's pretty bad. The game will. It's not like it's going to like hide tell you where things are hidden. It's not going to make. It's not a complicated maze of nastiness that tells you. It's not. It does kind of just throw you in, but it's not. It still will help you out. It's not nasty. So when you arrive at the QO'NOS system, and you'll be asking and being down to the first city. Approach the planet. You haven't been to the first city. Now QO'NOS is a lot larger than the ESD because it's a city, and but everything is pretty confined around the Great Hall, so you won't have to go very far for stuff. Plus it's marked. So when you beam in and you go through your tutorial to go to the High Council. The High Council is over there.
The Romulans reset.
So the High Council's over there. Now if you push the touch screen on the PlayStation pad, I'm not sure what it is on the Xbox pad, but over here is the QO'NOS. It's a marketplace as you come down. So you come down here past the memorial, and your personal equipment is this guy here. It's Lieutenant Borora. This woman. It's all the same things as the Federation. So that is the Klingon side. And Romulan. Romulan character. Where is Devek? There he is. Hidden from me. Now Romulan, you'll have two places to go. If you're well, three places actually, three places to go. Initially at the start of the game you have only one place to go, which is the Flotilla. But you can go to Romulus. You can, after Romulus is very weird how the game decides to work it out, meaning you end up going for the so once you pick a faction you can come here. What? When you initially start, you be assigned to the Romulan Flotilla. The Flotilla is located near New Romulus. I don't think I can actually transport to the Flotilla. No. Didn't think it would let me walk to the Flotilla. It's a bit annoying. Cryptic, why can't you transport to the Flotilla? So on the map you have here, which is the Romulan Flotilla.
The Kantari and Lukari governments have begun work.
Yeah, I'll worry about the NIMBUS system when we do the next part, which will be soon. That's transwarp. That's quantum slipstream, by the way. You unlock that at rank 60. No, rank 50, I think it is. Rank 50. Quantum slipstream. Help me out, tutor. Help me out. Wiki. Rank 50. Rank 50 is quantum slipstream. So, when you start out as a Romulan character from the Veronat system, you'll be asked to go to the Romulan Flotilla. Romulan Flotilla will be your home from home until the new Romulus system is discovered. that's spoilers, I apologise. But you'll probably be playing as a Starfleet character initially anyway. You won't probably be playing as a Romulan, so it won't make any difference. But enter the flotilla, you won't get a jump-in screen, you'll just beam straight into the flotilla. The flotilla is the tiniest of the areas you'll come to. So this is the Romulan flotilla. Over there is where all your ship stuff will be. Again, we'll cover that when we get to when we talk about ships. And you come down here, take a left out in, and then a right, and this is your ground logistics. And there is that's your clothes, your bridge officers again, and I think this is ground equipment. And there it is. There she is again. Ooh, a woman. Yeah. So ground equipment vendor, again, same, identical to the Federation and Klingons, all the same, except for some reason the Romulan one does not have upgrades. I think it's because this is where you initially be sent, but after you unlock the Romulus system. So I think the upgrades aren't going to be there because you're not going to be necessarily needing them. But when you discover the new Romulus system, which is not far from the flotilla, I could have just transport, but I'm lazy. So here's new Romulus. Into the Romulus system, you jump in. But as a Romulan character, you'll have an additional option. So you might have to. You have to beam to the command center. I think initially you have to land on your Romulus and then you have to go to the command center. But after a while, you'll be able to go straight to the command center, and the command center is pretty much the same as ESD. So essentially, this is the equivalency of ESD for Romulans. If you pick a factions, again that's a spoiler, but you have to have you choose a faction. You can either align with the Federation or the Klingons, and then you can then travel to QO'NOS and ESD. It's much more easier if you already know your way around those, but this is the main hub for Romulans, where I don't know so over here is equipment and logistics, and it is your away team vendor, identical to the Federation and Klingons. Again, no upgrade tokens. I guess they're really stingy on the upgrade tokens on the Romulans. They obviously really want the Romulans to go to their respective factions. Oh well. But yeah, this is the other place you can get your weapons for if you're a Romulan, and the third place, of course, is either QO'NOS if you've selected to become aligned with the Klingons, or ESD if you're aligned with the Federation. And that's the respective factions, and that is how you do kits, where you can get your kits. What we'll do next tutorial, we will cover ships and the different flavour of weaponry you can deploy on your ship. Until then, I'm the Big B82. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more features like this, as well as my playthroughs, which I will link along with the link to the Star Trek Online wiki, which will be far more detailed than me. Also, there's also the STO Reddits, which are also helpful. I wouldn't go to the forums because there aren't really any forums, so go to Reddits. There's also some, if you're in the end game, if you do STO builds, I think it is, Reddit, they'll talk about different builds for your ships. I won't go into end game material because it's a touchy subject that some people like their certain builds to build their ships a certain way, and some say that's the wrong way to do it and stuff like that. But I will cover ships in the next part, how you get your ships, where you can get additional ships, where you can get free ships. I think there's one free ship on the game, and also where you can get the elusive tier 6s. But I'll cover those when we talk about ships, weapons, shields, and how the hell you do that, and how the hell you get those stuff. Until then, thank you very much for watching. As my Romulan character would say, Joe on true. Ciao for now.